Hi everybody, Cindy with Birdie Boutique here. I'm going to do a quick tutorial for you on how to make stuck pads. It's pretty simple. It's nothing crazy in there that you won't be able to do. As long as you have a sewing machine, you can get these done fairly quickly. I have here just a cute turtle print that I'm working on for someone, and there actually is a right side. You can't really tell, but on the wrong side you see white specks. So I make my stuck pads 6.5 inches in height and 9.5 inches in width. I find that this fits most carrier straps, and it's long enough to pull down over the top of carriers, but it's also not so long that it's on the top of your shoulder and tugging on it. Go ahead and cut your ribbon and have that prepped as well. I usually singe the ends here, so that way when I sew, I don't have to worry about the ribbon moving and then having crooked ribbon when I'm sewing it. So I get that all done ahead of time. So get your right sides together, put your flannel in there, and start sewing. Make sure when you sew that you put the flannel on the bottom. I find that it helps a lot with the stretching, and you don't have to worry about your fabric bunching up. It's I prefer to keep all that on the bottom and nice and neat. So we'll go ahead and get started. Before you start sewing, when you prep, you might want to go ahead and fold it in half here, the lengthwise, and put a pin in here or crease it so that you know where to center up your ribbon. On my machine here, I think you can see, I have my foot has a little lip right here. And it's just a little edger that I have. It's kind of a little cheat for me. It gives me really straight stitches. And you'll see when I put my fabric in here, when the foot is down, I can't go past that. It's kind of like a little bumper. So if you're going to be making these a lot, or a lot of things that you do top stitching, or you need even stitches, that's a really great tool to have. So I'll go ahead and get started. Make sure that when you start on the edge, you don't start, you start far enough back, because in the end, we're only going to stop right about here. So that way you can turn this inside out. If you start too close to the corner here, it's harder to sew it closed, and you might have a gap. So go ahead and put those ribbon pieces in. Make it nice and even. And do it for the second one. Leave a little space in between, so that way when you put your toys and stuff in, you can loop it around. And make sure when you stitch over it once, and then you back stitch and stitch over it again. That way it gives it a little more stability. And give it about 1.5 to 2 inches so you can turn it inside out. Alright, so once you get it flipped right side out, make sure your corners are nice and sharp. Everything looks good. Even it out and get the part that you're opening here. Make sure it's folded in nice and even, and go ahead and stitch that part first. I usually make my stitch length just a little bit more for top stitching so it looks nice. And if you can see my little bumper here, it gives me that perfect even stitch. But the only thing with the bumper here is that I have to make sure to be careful with that ribbon there, or it catches. And cut, and you're done. So that's it. Stuck pad's done. And stretch it out to here. So that's it, you're done. You got your ribbons on the bottom. You got a nice smooth top stitch here, even all the way across. And then this is actually where the hole was. See, it's nice and sealed. This is the only part that's going to be, it looks almost like it's loose. Here, this is all closed off. But this is where we turned it inside out, and that's it. But nice all the way around. So when you're ready for your snaps, what I do is I put one snap at the top right here. And then I put another one about just a little past halfway down here. I don't put a snap on the bottom, so that way when you have it snapped closed, you have a snap here and here, you can stretch the bottom portion out over the top of the carrier. This way you have, you can pull it down for little babies that tend to drool a little bit closer on the panel, and then you can have it nice and closed like that if you want. But I just do the 2 snaps here and here. And then that's it. You have suck pads. See, that only took a couple of minutes, and if you do a whole set, it should take you, for your first time, probably about 30 to 45 minutes. So if you have any more questions, just give me a shout. I'll do what I can to answer them. But thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.